In the deep silence of ancient Babylon, beneath the weight of an empire, a heavy stone is rolled into place. It seals a pit where the air is thick with the scent of straw and the low, rhythmic breath of apex predators. The king's signet ring is pressed into the wax, an irrevocable mark of a law that cannot be broken. A man has been cast into the dark, and by all earthly accounts, his story should end here. But the record shows that while the stone was sealed, the light was not extinguished. Tonight, we look into the dark to find a peace that defies the roars of the world. Welcome to Beside Still Waters. I am glad you are here. Tonight, we journey back 25 centuries to a night of absolute danger and impossible rest. It is a story for the sleepless, a story for anyone who feels the walls closing in. The year is 539 BC. The mighty Babylonian Empire has just fallen to the Medo-Persian alliance. It is a volatile time of new laws, new leaders, and the constant friction of shifting power. Darius the Mede, a king of 62 years, has inherited the throne of Babylon. He is a man of strategy and bureaucracy, tasked with organizing a vast and diverse realm. To do this, he appoints 120 satraps. These officials were the protectors of the kingdom, responsible for taxes and order. Above them, the king placed 3 presidents to ensure the royal interests were never compromised. One of those men was Daniel. Archaeology tells us that keeping lions was a royal tradition in this era. Subterranean vaulted chambers have been uncovered in the ruins of Babylon, places where these massive creatures were held, ready to be used as a tool of royal sport, or, in this case, royal justice. Daniel was an exile, brought to Babylon as a youth. Now an old man of 80, he had served through the rise and fall of kings. His reputation was unassailable, characterized by what the record calls an exceptional spirit. Darius didn't just trust Daniel, he admired him. The king planned to set him over the entire kingdom, a move that would have placed a man of faith and integrity at the very heart of the empire's power. But where there is favor, there is often envy. The other officials saw Daniel's rise as a threat to their own ambitions. They began to watch him, looking for any flaw, any bribe, or any moment of administrative failure. They searched through his accounts, his decisions, and his personal life, but the record shows they found nothing. Daniel was trustworthy, neither corrupt nor negligent. His work was as clear as the morning sun. They realized they could only trap him through his devotion. They knew his heart belonged to a higher authority than the king of Babylon. They decided to make his faithfulness his crime. They approached the king with a subtle appeal to his vanity. They proposed a decree that for 30 days no one could pray to any god or man except the king himself. It was framed as a test of loyalty for a new administration. Darius, perhaps distracted by the weight of his new crown, signed the decree. He didn't see the trap. Under the law of the Medes and Persians, once the king's seal was set, the decree was irrevocable. It could not be changed. The decree wasn't just a private matter for Daniel. It was a cloud that hung over the entire city. For 30 days, the public squares and temples fell into a forced silence. The weight of royal authority had never felt so heavy or so restrictive. When Daniel learned that the decree had been signed, he did not change his rhythm. He did not seek a compromise or a hidden place to pray. He went to his home, to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day, just as he had always done, he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God. His peace was rooted in a commitment that the laws of men could not touch. The officials were waiting. They saw exactly what they hoped to see. They had their evidence, and they rushed back to the king, not to report a crime against the state, but to report a man's faithfulness. They reminded the king of his decree, then dropped the name they knew would break his heart, Daniel. They accused him of paying no attention to the king or the law. Darius realized with a sudden, cold clarity that he had been played. The king was greatly distressed. He spent the entire day, until the sun began to set, searching for a legal loophole, a way to save his friend from the very law he had signed. But the officials were relentless. The law cannot be changed. At sunset, the time of execution arrived. As Daniel was brought to the mouth of the pit, the king spoke words that were more a prayer than a command. "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." The stone was rolled over the mouth of the pit. The world of light, of friends, and of life was sealed away. Daniel was alone in the dark with the hunger of the lions. While the king paced in his luxury, the prisoner slept in the straw. Daniel was the only man in Babylon who was truly at peace that night, held in the quiet protection of the one he served. But in the den, there was a strange and holy stillness. The lions, predators by design, were as calm as lambs. An angel had been sent to shut their mouths, transforming a pit of death into a sanctuary of prayer. There is a silence that is empty, and then there is a silence that is full. In that pit, the silence was full of a presence that calmed the very nature of the beasts. The hunger of the lions was quieted by the peace of the Creator. While the king paced in his luxury, the prisoner slept in the straw. Daniel was the only man in Babylon who was truly at peace that night, held in the quiet protection of the one he served. At the very first light of dawn, the king hurried to the den. He was a man suspended between hope and despair. With a voice breaking with grief, he called out into the darkness of the pit, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you?" The silence that followed felt like an eternity. Then a steady, calm voice rose from the depths, clear and strong. "O King, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths." Daniel stood there, a living testament to a power higher than any earthly empire, unharmed because he had trusted in his God. Daniel was lifted out of the pit, and not a scratch was found on him. The king's sorrow was turned to overwhelming joy. He ordered that Daniel be restored to his place of honor immediately. Trust had been vindicated. The record tells us that those who had maliciously accused Daniel were brought to justice. In the ancient world, the consequences of a failed plot were often as severe as the plot itself. Truth has a way of returning to its source. Darius then issued a new decree to every people and nation. He commanded that everyone should fear and revere the God of Daniel, for he is the living God who endures forever, whose kingdom will never be destroyed. Daniel continued to prosper during the reign of Darius and into the reign of Cyrus the Persian. His life became a beacon of what it means to live with an exceptional spirit in a world of compromise. Daniel's rescue sent a shockwave through the administration. It was a moment where the spiritual world intersected with the political in a way that could not be ignored. His God became a name known from the palaces of Susa to the gardens of Babylon. But this story isn't just an ancient record. It's a bridge to your life, tonight. As you listen to these words, the world outside might feel as dangerous and unyielding as a pit of lions. Perhaps you are facing anxieties that roar in the quiet hours, financial pressures, health concerns, or the weight of decisions that feel irrevocable. You might feel trapped by circumstances you didn't choose. Sometimes life feels like that sealed stone, cold, heavy, and final. We feel like the darkness is all that's left. But the story of Daniel tells us that the darkness is exactly where the divine light does its best work. Peace doesn't come from knowing the outcome. It comes from knowing the one who holds the outcome. Daniel didn't fight the lions. He simply rested in the presence of his protector, and you can do the same. The same God who sent an angel to Babylon is with you in your room right now. There is a peace available to you that defies logic, a stillness that can quiet the loudest roars of your mind. You are never truly alone. May you find the sleep that Daniel found. May your heart be settled, knowing that you are watched over, valued, and loved beyond measure. Let the roars of the world fade into the background of His grace. May you rest tonight beside still waters. May your soul be restored, and may you wake with the strength that comes from a night spent in the hollow of His hand. You are safe. You are held. The records of history remind us that while empires fall and kings fade, The peace of the faithful remains. This is the legacy of the night Daniel spent among the lions, a legacy of trust. That angel is still sent to the places where we feel most vulnerable. In the middle of your struggle, there is a presence that shut the mouths of the beasts. Rest in that knowledge tonight. If you are in a season of transition, where the old is gone and the new feels uncertain, may you find the same steady ground that Daniel found. May the God of the changing seasons be your constant anchor in the storm. From the dust of Babylon to the quiet of your room, the story remains the same. Faith is the shield that allows us to sleep while the lions wait. The morning will come, and you will be found whole. Hope is often a quiet thing. It starts with a single beam of light in a dark place. Tonight, let that hope be enough to carry you into the morning. You are moving toward the light, and the lions are behind you. Before you close your eyes, I invite you to share in the comments who you are praying for tonight. Let's make this a sanctuary of support for one another. Your prayers matter, and you are part of this family. If this story brought you a moment of peace, please subscribe to Beside Still Waters. We are here every week to help you find rest. Good night, and may God bless your sleep. Rest now. The night is held in good hands. We will see you in the morning.